Imagine a world where colossal storms rage over an endless rust-red ocean, and huge, turbulent rivers carve deep canyons among giant volcanoes. Today, this planet is frozen, having turned into a lifeless, icy, and dry desert that silently keeps the traces of the greatest cosmic catastrophe. This is the story of Mars, our neighbor, which was once strikingly similar to Earth, but lost everything.
Let us go on an incredible journey through time and travel back about 4 billion years. In those distant times, our Earth was only just being born, but Mars was already a flourishing and very promising place. If we could look at it back then from space, we would not recognize this planet. Instead of the dull orange ball we are used to today, we would see a beautiful blue oasis. Almost the entire northern half of Mars was occupied by one huge, endless ocean. Its depth in some places reached several kilometers. In size, this Martian ocean was even larger than our harsh Arctic Ocean on Earth. Hundreds and thousands of mighty rivers flowed into it. Real deep-water torrents rolled their waves across the rocky plains, made noise at the bends of the riverbeds, and broke their way through the cliffs. Giant lakes stretched along the shores, which were connected to each other by entire networks of small streams and brooks. The air on ancient Mars was thick, warm, and humid. Fluffy white clouds floated. A real warm rain was falling, and water droplets tapped on the primeval Martian stones. This seems like incredible science fiction, but it is the absolute truth, which scientists today have proven 100%.
How did we find out about this if it all happened so insanely long ago? We were helped by our small but incredibly brave iron assistants, the rovers. Robots that humanity sent millions of kilometers away from home have become our eyes and ears on the red planet. One of the most famous rovers, named Curiosity, has been traveling across the bottom of a huge crater called Gale for many years now. And what he found there is simply mind-blowing. Imagine a round, deep depression in the middle of the desert. It turns out that many billions of years ago, this crater was a colossal lake. Curiosity carefully drilled ancient Martian stones with its instruments, collected dust, and studied its composition. It turned out that these stones are not just solidified volcanic lava. This is real petrified clay. We can find exactly the same clay at the bottom of any lake or pond here on Earth right now. It forms only when small particles of dirt and sand quietly settle to the bottom of a warm body of water over thousands and millions of years. Moreover, the rover took pictures of amazing cliffs. Their layers lie exactly the same way as in the deltas of Earth's rivers, for example, where our Volga or the Great Nile flow into the sea. Water flowed here for so long that it managed to wash ashore entire mountains of sand and pebbles.
Another brave robot, the Perseverance rover, is currently exploring another crater called Jezero. And there, the picture is even more stunning. From the flight altitude of space satellites, this crater looks exactly like the dried-up mouth of a giant river. The bends of the ancient riverbed are clearly visible, which broke a passage in the high stone wall of the crater and spilled inside in a huge fan. Streams of water rushed there with furious speed. They were so strong and turbulent that they rolled huge, heavy boulders the size of a good passenger car behind them. Imagine this roar and splash. The water swirled, foamed, and filled this whole huge stone bowl. And all this was happening on a planet where today there is not a single living drop on the surface.
But where did all this magnificence go? Why, today, wherever you look, do we see only bleak, rusty cliffs, endless sand dunes, and icy cosmic cold? Why did a paradise corner turn into a creepy and dead cemetery? To solve this grim mystery, we need to look into the very heart of Mars, deep beneath its surface. The thing is that every living and healthy planet must have its own hot heart. Our Earth has a huge core of molten iron inside. This core is constantly spinning and swirling like a giant underground furnace. Because of this rotation, an invisible but super powerful shield is created around the Earth. Scientists call it a magnetic field. We cannot see it with our eyes, but it is exactly what saves us every single day. This shield protects the Earth from deadly radiation and from the most important cosmic bully, the solar wind. The solar wind is not just a pleasant breeze. It is a furious, invisible, and very dangerous stream of charged particles that the sun spits out in all directions at a tremendous speed. This speed is hundreds of kilometers per second.
Ancient Mars also had such a hot iron core at the very beginning of its life. An identical, powerful magnetic shield also existed around the planet, which carefully protected the thick atmosphere and warm oceans. Mars felt great. But our neighbor had one big trouble: its size. Mars is much smaller than Earth. In size, it occupies about half of our planet. Now imagine two pies that you have just taken out of a hot oven. One pie is huge, and the second one is very small, tiny. Which one will cool down faster? The small one, of course. Exactly the same thing happened to Mars. Because of its small size, it began to rapidly lose its internal heat. Its underground iron furnace began to fade out. The molten metal inside the core slowed down its movement, became thick, and then completely froze. The heart of the planet stopped.
As soon as the insides of Mars cooled down, its invisible protective power shield simply vanished. The magnetic field disappeared, leaving the planet absolutely defenseless in the face of the ruthless cosmos. And then a real nightmare began. The enraged solar wind pounced on the defenseless Mars. Meeting no resistance, these invisible solar particles crashed into the upper layers of the Martian air. They literally began to blow away, scrape off, and tear away pieces of the atmosphere, carrying them away into the icy cosmic void. This was like a strong hurricane stripping dry leaves from a defenseless tree until it is left completely bare. Year after year, century after century, the atmosphere of Mars became more and more liquid, thin, and weak.
When the air above the planet almost disappeared, colossal problems with water began. The fact is that for liquid water to exist on the surface, you need not only warmth, but also good atmospheric pressure. The air must sort of press on the water from above, keeping it in a liquid state, preventing it from scattering. If there is no atmospheric pressure, water simply cannot remain liquid. Imagine that you poured water into a pot on top of the highest mountain on Earth, where the air is very thin. The water will boil there much faster, even at a very low temperature. And on Mars, the pressure dropped so low that the planet turned into a giant vacuum chamber. In such conditions, ordinary liquid water begins to behave very strangely. It simultaneously boils from any weak ray of the sun and immediately freezes from the cosmic cold.
The oceans, seas, and rivers of Mars found themselves in a deadly trap. Most of the Martian water simply evaporated into the thinning air, and the solar wind ruthlessly carried these water vapors far into open space, scattering them between the stars forever. Mars literally dried up before our eyes. In place of the churning torrents, only dry, silent scars remained, empty riverbeds that today look at us lonely from photographs. But did absolutely all water leave the red planet forever? Not at all. Mars still managed to hide something from the cosmic robber. A huge part of the water simply did not have time to evaporate and froze, turning into solid, strong as steel ice.
If we look at the poles of Mars today, at its very north and its very south, we will see huge white caps there. These are giant glaciers. They consist not only of frozen carbon dioxide, which is called dry ice, but also of the most ordinary water ice. There is simply an incredible amount of it there. If we could melt only these polar glaciers of Mars, then the entire planet would again be covered with a real liquid ocean several meters deep. But even that is not all. Huge reserves of pure water ice are hiding right under our feet, beneath a layer of rusting Martian dust. Mars has its own permafrost, just like we have in Siberia or in the tundra. One only has to dig the Martian soil a bit deeper, just a few tens of centimeters, and we will hit a solid, transparent glacier. Spacecraft have photographed fresh craters many times, which were formed by the fall of small meteorites. At the bottom of these fresh pits, pure white ice shines brightly. True, it does not last long there. In the open air, modern Martian ice evaporates quickly, bypassing the liquid water stage and disappears.
All this brings us to the most important, most exciting and thrilling question that gives no peace to scientists around the world. If there was so much warm water on ancient Mars, if there were lakes, clouds, and rains, then could life have originated on it? After all, on our Earth, life originated precisely in water, in the warm primeval oceans. And Martian conditions 4 billion years ago were not a bit worse than Earth's. Scientists believe that Mars had quite enough time, entire hundreds of millions of years, for the first living organisms to appear in its waters. Of course, we are not talking about green men, fantastic animals, or intelligent beings. Probably Martian fish did not swim there, and strange algae did not grow. But the simplest creatures, such as bacteria or microbes, could well have appeared there and felt at home.
But what happened to them when the planet began to die? When the air disappeared and the oceans froze? Did all Martian microbes really perish under the blows of the ruthless solar wind and cosmic radiation? This is exactly where a real detective story begins. Some scientists put forward a stunning hypothesis. Life on Mars did not perish. It simply went deep underground. It hid where neither deadly radiation nor icy cosmic wind can reach. Life went underground.
Mars is a planet of huge secrets and giant caves. Space satellites that fly around the planet and take super sharp photos have discovered amazing objects on the slopes of Martian volcanoes. These are perfectly round, deep black holes. Their sizes are amazing. They can be more than 100 meters wide. What is this? It turns out that these are entrances to colossal underground caves and lava tubes. Billions of years ago, when volcanoes were still erupting on Mars, streams of glowing lava flowed along the surface. From above, the lava cooled down and turned into a solid stone crust, while a fiery liquid stream continued to flow inside it. When the eruption ended, the lava left, leaving behind empty, giant underground tunnels. These tunnels are so huge that entire cities with multi-story buildings and wide streets could easily fit inside them.
And now imagine the picture. Outside, on the surface of Mars, an icy hell is raging. The temperature there can drop to minus 120 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere is poisonous. There is nothing to breathe. And from above, the planet is continuously bombarded by dangerous cosmic rays that destroy all living things. But inside these lava tubes, deep beneath the surface, the picture can be completely different. A thick layer of stone overhead, tens of meters thick, works as an ideal shield. It completely blocks out all dangerous radiation. Inside these caves, eternal, calm darkness reigns. But most importantly, it can be much warmer there. Deep underground, the warmth of the echoes of the ancient planet could have been preserved until now. And there, in these dark labyrinths, liquid water may well exist.
It can ooze through cracks in the rocks, collect in small underground lakes, or remain in the form of humid vapor.
If this is so, then Martian microbes could well have adapted to such a life. On our Earth, scientists constantly find so-called extremophiles. These are amazing microorganisms that live in the most horrific conditions, where it would seem it is absolutely impossible to survive. They are found in deep mines at a depth of several kilometers, where there is not a single gram of sunlight and air. They are found in boiling geysers with acid, and even in the ice of Antarctica. They do not need the sun. They do not need oxygen. They learned to feed on ordinary stones, sulfur, or iron, receiving energy for life from them. If Earth's bacteria are capable of such tricks, then why couldn't Martian microbes do the same? They could well have set up their underground cities in warm and humid Martian caves. And they can live there right now, at this very second, quietly developing and not even suspecting that very soon people will come to visit them.
Humanity is already actively preparing for this great journey. We are sending more and more complex and smart instruments to Mars. In future missions, scientists plan to send special unmanned helicopters and robot speleologists to the Red Planet, which will be able to look inside these mysterious black holes and descend into lava tubes. Imagine what an incredible moment it will be in the history of our world. A robot descends on a cable into a dark Martian cave, turns on its powerful searchlights, points the camera at a wet wall, and finds colonies of living Martian microbes there. This discovery will forever change our whole understanding of the universe. We will understand that we are not alone in this endless, cold cosmos, and that life is an incredibly stubborn and strong thing that is capable of surviving even on a dying planet.
The story of Mars is a great and very important lesson for all of us, inhabitants of the Earth. Our cosmic neighbor shows us how fragile an inhabited world can be. It was enough just for a small core inside the planet to cool down, to launch a chain reaction that completely destroyed a flourishing paradise, turning it into a dry desert. This makes us value and cherish our native Earth even more, our amazing blue home where there is a magnetic shield, thick air, noisy green forests, and pure liquid water in which life is churning. At the same time, Mars beckons us with its mystery, throws us a challenge, and waits for the first brave astronauts to step onto its rusty soil to reveal all its secrets to the end.
The universe is full of stunning riddles, amazing secrets, and incredible scales from which it simply takes your breath away. And every planet we study is another step towards understanding how our huge cosmic home is structured. A huge thank you to each of you for watching this virtual journey to the very end. Your curiosity and interest in science is what drives humanity forward to the stars. If you liked our story, if you felt this amazing wow effect from the secrets of the Red Planet, be sure to like this video. This helps our channel very much to develop and make new, even cooler and more interesting episodes for you. Write in the comments what you think. Will we manage to find living Martian microbes in underground caves, or is Mars still absolutely dead? Subscribe to the channel, share this video with friends to solve the mysteries of space together. Stay with us, and until next time.